10 people killed in a collision and another cold shoulder from Mother Nature. With the news at 9 o'clock, good morning, I'm Karabo Malatsi. At least 10 people are reported to have died in a collision between two buses in the Eastern Cape earlier this morning. The buses collided on the R61 between Cradock and Graaff-Reinet. Arrive Alive spokesperson Tsepo Machaya says one bus was transporting learners while the other was en route from Cape Town to Mthatha. Paramedics and emergency personnel are still at the scene. The injured have been rushed to nearby hospitals. A week before the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in London, the Olympic flame has arrived in the host city in dramatic style. It was brought to the Tower of London by the Royal Navy, as the BBC's Rob Broomby reports.
The Royal Navy Seeking helicopters brought the Olympic flame down the Thames in the orange light of evening. Then at 12 minutes past 8 local time, or 2012, two Royal Marines upsailed from the hovering aircraft the 60 metres to the Tower of London with the flame in its safe holder. The torch was then lit and carried by the British double gold medal winner Dame Kelly Holmes around the historic walls to the cheers of the crowds below. The flame spent the night in the ceremonial office of the Queen's house here, as safe as the crown jewels nearby. Londoners have waited as the nation went torch crazy. Now the city of 2012 gets its turn.
Back home, Municipal Workers Union SAMU has accepted a wage increase of 6.5%. This follows lengthy negotiations with employer Salga. The decision was taken at the Central Executive Committee meeting in Bloemfontein. The union earlier rejected a 4.5% increase, demanding a basic salary of 6,000 rand for all municipal employees. South African Muslims will join their brethren from around the world today for the fast of Ramadan. During this month, Muslims abstain from eating and drinking from dawn to dusk for about 29 days. It is also the month in which the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims also abstain from worldly pleasures during Ramadan and instead concentrate on spiritual rejuvenation and perform special prayers at mosques in the evenings. The fast is traditionally broken with the consumption of dates and water, followed by a meal. It's another cold shoulder from Mother Nature as a fresh cold front is expected to hit the Western Cape this weekend. The Southern African Weather Service says South Africans should brace themselves for a cold front expected over the western areas of the province. Cold to very cold conditions are also forecast and will spread to the Eastern Cape and most of the Northern Cape. Senior meteorologist at the Weather Service, Lula Mamenze, has more.
Very cold conditions are expected over the northwestern high ground of the Western Cape and southern high ground of the Northern Cape. And then that will spread on Sunday to the northwestern interior of the Eastern Cape, but without any snow, without any closure of the road. And there is a possibility for a 60% chance of showers, but it's more affecting the coastal areas, just dropping our temperatures, meaning the minimum temperatures of Monday morning, meaning for the Gauteng province, for the eastern half.
And finally, further afield, the United Nations envoy in Ivory Coast says 7 people have been killed at a refugee camp under the protection of UN peacekeepers. He says 300 attackers armed with guns and machetes stormed the camp, which is home to about 5,000 people, close to the western town of Duekwe. The BBC's John James reports.
The 5,000 Ivorian internal refugees were nominally under UN protection at the Naibli refugee camp on the outskirts of Duekwe. But an armed mob broke through the entrance, and eyewitnesses say most of the camp has been destroyed. Most of the residents of the camp are from the local Gere ethnic group, seen as supportive of former President Laurent Gbagbo. They say they fear returning to their nearby farms after hundreds of their community were killed during a conflict last year, which followed presidential elections.